Dr. Dan Thompson here. Thanks for joining me on That's My Farm. Today, we're going to visit Jackson's greenhouse. Jackson's greenhouse started out over 90 years ago, and it started as a truck farm raising tomatoes and other vegetables that were sold locally. Then other horticultural services were added, and it became a full-fledged garden center. Join me as we discuss with Dave and Annette Jackson their journey through 43 years of developing Jackson's Greenhouse and Garden Center and making this an oasis for all Kansas gardeners.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome to That's My Farm. We're going to discuss the history of Jackson's Greenhouse.
Hi, we're Dave and Annette Jackson at Jackson's Greenhouse. We have owned and operated the greenhouse since we were married in 1970. That's about 43 years in this business. The greenhouse was originally purchased by my father in 1951, just before the flood, and our family grew up here in the house and in front of the greenhouse, and then the folks retired and moved away some time ago. The greenhouse itself, the structure was built in 1922. It was originally the Williams greenhouse, and they raised tomatoes in the spring. There were 4,800 tomato plants in here, like the ones you see behind us. And
only they were planted straight in the ground. They were harvesting off of them.
And so then, gradually, as Annette and I took it over, we've changed it to a growing greenhouse where we grow the plants and sell the plants. We no longer produce tomatoes except what we're lucky enough to harvest off of these plants and take home and eat.
Yeah, we snitch one every now and then.
Right. Anything that gets ripe. Currently we've got some strawberries down here we're picking from and enjoying. So our specialty really is growing plants for people. For customers, and we grow, there's some 50 plus varieties of tomatoes which are all lined up alphabetically through the table down to the end of the greenhouse. We grow them both in 4-packs and individuals. We do some growing as well for commercial growers. We grow 75 different kinds of pepper plants, hot and sweet together, and they're on the other side over here, all lined up alphabetically so that we can find what we've got.
So many of them, sometimes it's hard to find the right one.
So we, of course, while the greenhouse is growing, then you also see the hanging baskets above the tomatoes and peppers. We have to make ends meet here, you have to kind of double layer stuff and take care of all of your space as efficiently as you can, since that gas bill is going to be a significant part of our cost here.
We do more than just the tomatoes, the vegetables.
Right. This is the house for the greenhouse for the tomatoes and vegetables. This is one greenhouse, 40 by 150 feet long. The two other greenhouses house flowers and tropical plants, and we grow some perennials and stuff over there, and then we move the perennials outside in our growing operation.
We also grow a full round of herbs also. So if anybody's
there's about
interested.
75 different kind of herbs in as a matter of
annuals
fact.
and perennials both. So we have plenty of things to choose from for the vegetable gardener, and also if you don't want a vegetable garden, we've got plenty to choose from if you just want to do flower gardening also.
We produce it all here and grow it from seed. We have a seed starting chamber where everything's germinated, and then we move them from the germination chamber out to what's called a biotherm table, which has bottom heat, hydronic heat on the bottom to keep the roots warm to push growth. And then the transplants are moved to a cool area, and then they're transplanted over into pots where you're
You can buy them.
Right.
Stay tuned to find out how the Jacksons prep their soil when growing starter plants.
Roy Fry Western Lifestyles brings the cowboy or cowgirl out in all of us. With a huge selection of must-have items, it doesn't matter if you're shopping for your horse, picking up some Western accessories to add that rustic charm to your home, or simply treating yourself. The knowledge and expertise to dress you your Western best is right here at Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, Highway 24 and Kansas Avenue in Topeka.
This hog is Hanover hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas, or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you. Welcome back to That's My Farm. We're going to discuss more with the Jacksons about how they prep their soil and do some water testing to ensure that their plants get off to a good start.
Welcome back to Jackson's Greenhouse and Garden Center. Annette and I are standing here in the east greenhouse of the facility, which is a 6,000 square foot growing area for our tomatoes, pepper plants, eggplants, and there's some leek and strawberries and some other, we even have some Swiss chard, Texas fig trees, one of which has figs on it right now. And citrus trees. All kinds of things, good things to eat are in this greenhouse, and we grow primarily most of it all right here. We, in doing so, we use a pre soil mix that comes from Canada. It's Canadian sphagnum moss with African grade vermiculite, because that's pesticide and free product, and perlite that's locally made in Canada. And so that's a blend, a third blend, kind of a bark-free blend that we like to grow in. We try to keep the pH in the low 6 range, because that's where the tomatoes and pepper plants are happiest. We use a combination pH meter and a soluble salts meter that keeps the fertility, allows us to keep the fertility at the right level as well as the pH in the correct range. And we do this test here on about every 2-week basis. We also test soil for gardeners as well, who sometimes have problems with their pH. Kansas is known for having a high pH and in their soil around here for most gardeners, and that makes it kind of an unhappy situation for vegetables, since they prefer slightly acidic soil. Tomatoes, for example, produce best at 6.4. Potatoes are at 6.0. So if you have a garden that's testing at 7.5 or so, or if you've for some reason burned ashes across your garden or thrown fireplace wood ashes on your garden, then your pH is going to be clear out of the range that the tomato can pick up the fertilizer for. So you're going to have an anemic looking crop. And so that's one of the things we like to test for. We also, when we test the soil for a gardener, we check for the organic matter content. Sometimes a garden is so lacking in organic matter that the water can't be absorbed, and that's the other thing that I test for to help gardeners out and suggest compost solutions, how much compost to add to your garden to make it test right.
Depends a lot on the size of the garden. And
yeah, the size of the garden makes a big difference of what you can do. Yeah. And then the third thing, of course, is of course, folks sometimes have troubles with pests. Those can range from deer and rabbit all the way to grasshoppers, any kind of an aphid, thrip. We have all kinds of pests out there that want to eat the crop before you get a chance to. So we have, I'm a certified pesticide applicator, and our staff is all trained to help people. We have a full range of Fertilome products that carry all the safe chemistries for gardens. We also have all the organic products.
After the break, find out how important conservation is to Jackson's Greenhouse and the customers that they support.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
We've been using the Multimin on our donor cows, and after we started using it on them, we've seen a definite increase in grade number 1 embryos. I like the results that I get using Multimin with the AI conception rate.
Their minerals not up to snuff, you're gonna have problems, and I definitely think Multimin is good for, you know, general healthiness of the cattle.
We think Multimin more than pays for itself.
Get ready for the Kicker Country Stampede presented by Verizon Wireless, starring Jason Aldean, Trace Atkins. 4 days of camping and country music at Country Stampede, Little Big Town. The Pistol Annies featuring Ashley Monroe, Miranda Lambert, and Angelina Presley. Country Stampede. Take advantage of our current pricing. Advanced pricing for a 4-day ticket is $135. Prices go up June 26. More info at countrystampede.com.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Welcome back to Jackson's Greenhouse and Garden Center. Annette and I are happy to be with you here in the middle greenhouse of the Jackson's Greenhouse, and we have lots of flowers in this particular greenhouse, and a few vegetables as well. A little bit of lettuce and romaine hide over here.
The women like to walk this aisle.
This is where the ladies come.
Yes, they come here.
Instead of the gardening aisle.
Not always, but
the conservation is a main theme of horticulture around here, and of course long-term sustainability is very important in the horticulture industry. We help customers design windbreaks, for example, and provide windbreak type plants in landscapes, as well as some forms of terracing, either through the erection of concrete segmented walls, or even berms to direct the flow of water, or hold it as necessary in a garden center. In a garden setting. We are happy to help folks with any problem that they may have. Also, privacy and screening issues can be horticulturally helped. Among other things that we do here, of course, is a big recycling project. Annette will take back planters baskets, pots, those kinds of things, instead of folks taking them to the land dump or landfill, then we recycle them here. We quickly sterilize them in a Clorox solution and for reuse, and repurpose this plastic so that we don't have to throw it all away. There's a lot of benefit to be derived from that. And even still, if folks have their own big planting projects, sometimes we'll even let them purchase at a very low cost the used pots back, different ways to recycle that we can find. The recycling also extends then to the plants that don't get sold here. We spend instead of dumping the product in waste bins at the end of the season that doesn't sell, we actually carry the planters and pots and packs and everything out to we have what we call the recycle pile out back.
Compost.
Compost, and so we dump the soil and the plants and everything, and then turn it for a couple of years, and then reuse it by selling it to people that want compost for their gardens, for example.
Works really well.
It's great compost because it already has the peat moss, the vermiculite, the perlite, and organic matter. The waste of the plant is all in that solution. Much better than the topsoil that some people have to sell, that is silt off of farmsteads, that doesn't have the organic matter that our product does. But we try to not waste anything here at all, and by doing the recycling and the conservation, we collect our water here that runs off the greenhouse in the back, and use it to water the trees, for example, that are on the back side. The rain runs off the greenhouses and is collected in a low area back there, and then it takes care of about 200 or 300 trees that are in that particular cycle of where they need water. So should we get any, the droughts have been a little bit hard on that, but anything that we can do to conserve in this operation is what we possibly can do. Yeah. So the bottom line is, we would like to have you come out and see us and give us some new ideas on conservation if you can, or we'll tell you ours.
We're going to learn how the Jacksons do outreach to gardeners in the area to give them tips about things that they can do in their own gardens and flower beds.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply. Golf Week calls it the best course you can play in Kansas. But once you play, you'll want to stay. Go for it. Firekeeper Golf Course at Prairie Band Casino and Resort is just north of Topeka off Highway 75. Our stay and play package is worth the trip. Luxury hotel room, green fees, and golf cart for two, starting at just $169.
Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it!
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
I'm Dennis Tebow. My wife and I, Kathy, are the owners of Wolf Creek Cattle Company. We have grown to approximately 70 bulls.
I'm Reese Arnold. I'm the livestock manager at Wolf Creek Cattle Company. You know, these are not just like normal cattle. These cattle, they're hauled anywhere from, 8 to 10 hours a day across the United States and asked to perform. The Multiman 90 keeps them kind of level. It maintains and balances their system. The stress level is less when everything's right and working right, then they're working right.
And now here's another gardening tip with Dave Jackson.
Did you know that dandelions can be killed in your yard with a product made by Fertilome called Weed Out, and you don't have to fertilize your lawn? So if you're worried about your lawn getting too high and too tall too quick with too much fertilizer, come in and ask for some Fertilome Weed Out without lawn fertilizer to kill your dandelion.
Our annual Mix or Match flat sale is underway. Plant 48 homegrown annuals for just $18.99. Save 35%.
Welcome back to That's My Farm. We're going to sit down and discuss with the Jacksons how they help educate gardeners about how to grow plants successfully and how much fun playing in the dirt can be.
Welcome back to Jackson's Greenhouse. Annette and I are standing in front of our Shrek waterfall that we recently showed at the garden show. The Kansas Garden Show is in Topeka and attracts about 14,000 prospective gardeners every year over the weekend, over a 3-day weekend, and to try to encourage interest in gardening. It encourages the young and old alike to remain active in the gardening aspect of their lives. We do other kinds of outreach things as well all through the year. We always have in our weekly ads and our weekly updates on the internet, and I know that folks have signed up for that. We have what we call Annette's Tips that are written, and we use Annette's name and face on that because my name and face doesn't really mean all that much. But and then Annette does lots of other things to reach out and help gardeners.
I go out and give quite a few talks to different organizations and groups. Typically what I'm going to talk about is going to be container gardening, whether it be vegetable gardening or flower gardening. This kind of seems to ring a bell with young and the old also, so it seems to be something everybody is interested in, how to grow something in a pot and be happy with it. We also do potting parties here at the greenhouse where people come in with their pots. They can plant them up while they're here. We talk to them about the soils and the fertilization and everything, and then they get to walk through the greenhouse and pick what they want to plant in their pots. We will keep them here for them in one of the back greenhouses until right after May, and then when they come back to pick them up, or right after Mother's Day, I'm sorry, it's big and beautiful and just exactly what they wanted planted in it. We do some herb seminars every now and then also where we have people come in, we serve you some food using our herbs and teach you how to use herbs to add flavors to your foods and help encourage more gardening that way. Hopefully we're going to pick up some younger people too. Seems like a lot of everybody's getting into sustainability now and they want to be having things that they can help do their own spices with also. Probably the most contacts that we have go out through our constant comment. If you have an email address, we'd be sure to send out little tips of what to do. We are happy to do that. We don't sell the email to anybody else. We just give you hints of what you need to be doing at this time of year.
We take care of the K-State website by monitoring it, and we'll let you know if there's insect warnings, for example, and times to take care of your bagworms when they're going to be hatching, when you want to spray, when you want to take care of grubs. Those are the kind of tips that a lot of people aren't aware of that are out there available, and we basically just monitor what K-State does on their website, and they let us know in our area what's time to take care of. The other outreach item that we do is we do some television tips as well. In the season, we'll besides newspaper and Constant Contact, you can also watch us on several of the channels, including this program. We have a tip every week that comes out. So we do the best we can to keep gardeners interested, and if there's anything that you're interested in, let us know, and we'll see that it gets some play or attention. So come out and see us at Jackson's Greenhouse and give us some help. We can sure use it, and we'll enjoy talking to you.
If you want to find out more about us on the web, you can go to www.agaminkansas.com, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.